Out on the streets. I did with Ken Graber, we did about 6 months ago a kind of early look at the family source centers, which we have 16 that are $1 million years with individual nonprofits, plus 5 that are city run with city staff. Right, so we have 21 of these. Under WorkSource, these 17 WorkSource centers, what they do is they basically have universal access. So anybody coming in, they get all the proprietary databases, be it Career Builder, be it EDD's internal CalJob database, the best one in the state in terms of job hunting. Right? They have staff that help people do the universal access job hunting. They have about 160,000 people through the door. Individual people coming an average of 2.5 times looking for work. Right? In addition to that, they have 5,000 case managed slots, helping 5,000 individuals, connecting them up to work, and they don't exit them from their case managed slots until they get them a job. Family Source has universal access, and so the universal access is 50,000 families with 5,000 that are case managed. WorkSource OneSource has 150,000 families with, again, 5,000 that are case managed. The systems that we've been building over the last number of years is we also have our gang reduction, youth development, intervention contractors. That's what we put inside the mayor's office. And we have 500 direct referrals to WorkSource for case managed positions. We also have our gang reduction, youth development, prevention contractors. And we have 500 direct referrals from them, and it goes both ways. Under WorkSource, we have 11 major training programs. A lot of it is funded out of ARA. We just announced another $10 million to the streets to train another 3,000 people in Los Angeles in sectors of the economy, so healthcare, utilities, hospitality. Each of them is a high road partnership that has all the players in the equation and connects people up directly to jobs, and their placements. We don't count them until it's a placement. But 11 high sector training programs. We have 5 bridge programs taking people that currently probably could not get into a sector training program but need the extra algebra, need the extra remediation. And we have 7 reconnection academies. The reconnection academies that take the individuals 18 to 21 and connect them up either to high school, community college, a job, or a training program. We have a rapid response program. But there's a fair amount of work that happens here. On the OneSource, we're getting bored, right? Too much? Yeah. Should I keep too much? Yeah. All right. So let me say, on OneSource, this is where the 15,000 summer jobs are. Over here, this is where we're starting to do a whole lot of work around dropout recovery. And the theory is that done would be here. Would be a standalone unit of 16 staff with a director. Bonk would do direct reporting to the general manager. Department of Neighbor Empowerment would become the Office of Neighbor Empowerment as part of the Community Development Department / Department of Neighbor Empowerment. Right? And these 16 individuals are actually provided to you as to what the exact job descriptions are. You have it in your packet. That's the proposal for how this work would function. But let me just step back for 1 second, and then I'll get out of your face. We have in some of the internal conversations, I think the conversation that you need to take really seriously is that in some ways, neighborhood councils in your first 10 years of development have been over-lawyered, over-managed, over-bureaucratized, and quite honestly have not been given the role that you're about to get in a pared-down Office of Neighbor Empowerment as part of CDD. The contract management functions to try to take the funding program out of our city bureaucracy to either a nonprofit or to electronic approach to the work is something that I think will be ultimately a step in the right direction in terms of our interaction with neighborhood councils. The work that we try to do to take our website out of our IT support and our two IT professionals at the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment and contract to somebody who can do it 10 times better than we as a city can do is something I think that could support your work. The three volunteer coordination roles that would work with a committee of neighborhood council leaders on the training strategy and the mentorship behind the training strategy, on the website-based work, on the public relations work, the intergovernmental relations work, right? Those are things that are really kind of everybody's talked about how there was a period where neighborhood councils learned how to walk, learned how to run. This is clearly the kind of moving away from home moment.
Larry, you're starting to do it, but would you address this question?
Dan,
Yeah.
we're going to switch.
So this is a question. Will neighborhood councils at this moment in the city's crisis, you understand how big the crisis is, and we're doing zero-based budgeting in all departments. This is an opportunity for neighborhood councils to step up. My commitment to you publicly is because I do have responsibility for the community development department and helped them develop their restructuring and what everybody sees is kind of a model around the country now in terms of some of the work that they're doing. My commitment is to stay deeply involved to bring success to this piece of the equation, which is the Office of Neighborhood Empowerment as part of the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment / Community Development Department. And the big question that you need to ask me, and one I'm prepared to commit to, is that this executive director, I need to spend the next 2.5 months making sure that it's an exempt position, which means it's not a 9-to-5 position, which means that we could hire from a number of different places, and do a full-on engagement process with neighborhood council leadership as to who that executive director should be, right? So those are the pieces that I think should be relevant to your conversations as you sort of think through, move forward. We think we can create a safe harbor for the smallest department. I know there are other proposals out there about trying to do it as a side-by-side with another department or some approach like that. That's ultimately going to be a decision that made by council in their 10 votes. But I would assure you that in this environment, I will pay deep and close attention whichever way it goes. But I think I can have the most impact by bringing some of the assets at CDD, to the Office of Neighborhood Empowerment. But the ultimate issue is, do you guys get your funding next year? Do you guys go forward? I think there's general consensus from people I'm talking to that that's not what's at jeopardy. We have to be vigilant. You saw what happened last year, right? But I think the issue is, what services do you absolutely need from the city? How do we best deliver those services? Right? And how do we position the neighborhood councils as they take their next step in their development?
Awesome. Let's switch places.